what is our first main topic today?
Well, John, our first main topic comes to us from Jaron Weatherly. Hello, John and team. Have seen the brand new trailer for Steven Spielberg's semi-autobiographical film, The Fabelmans. As a longtime Spielberg fan, I am very excited to see a fuller artistic depiction of the family themes that the director has only ever hinted at in past films like E.T. and Catch Me If You Can. With the celebratory reviews coming out of TIFF, how excited are you for The Fabelmans?
All right, thanks a lot for saying that in. I have got to learn my lesson because I believe that Steven Spielberg is simply the greatest filmmaker in the history of the medium. I believe that wholeheartedly. And yet, I have not had a lot of belief in his two most recent projects. I said for a year leading up to it that West Side Story was a mistake. That who cares about a remake musical of an old, like, I get it, Steven, you probably loved that movie when you were younger, but like, why? And it ended up, in my estimation, being the best film of the year. I was floored every second. And of course, then I reminded myself, what was I thinking? It's Steven Spielberg. Of course it was going to be a masterpiece. And I thought it was the best film of the year. And it was nominated for Best Picture of the Year and all kinds of stuff. What he did in that, it was a masterclass in direction. That entire movie was a masterclass in direction. But he had this other movie coming out that's basically his life story called The Fablemans. And he called it that instead of calling it The Spielbergs. And it's a story about him as a kid, his mother, who's a world-renowned pianist, his father, and growing up with his love and the passion of the movies. And I thought, that seems a little self-indulgent. And I don't know that anybody's going to care. I mean, you got Michelle Williams in there. You got Paul Dano in there. I mean, look, the cast is great, but come on. Well, I saw the trailer for it. And I felt, and I can only speak for myself, I don't know about the rest of you guys, watching this kid on screen falling in love with the medium of the movies and the magic and the spell that can cast over you. I felt it too. I felt it too watching this trailer. And then you get into his mother. I've met Steven Spielberg's mother. And he gets into the mother and the father and the drama of it and all that kind of stuff. And I love that one part when he says, your hobby, please don't call it my hobby. We were talking about the Babylon trailer a little bit earlier today. And I said, this might be the best trailer all year. This also might be the best trailer all year. And the reviews are now coming out of TIFF. And by TIFF, we mean the Toronto International Film Festival, maybe the most important film festival in the world. And the reviews are now coming out. They've screened it there. And they're not just calling it a great movie. Some of the people coming out of it are saying this is Steven Spielberg's best movie. There are a lot of people coming out and saying it is yet another Steven Spielberg masterpiece. A lot of the word masterpiece is being thrown around a lot about this movie. Now, I have not seen it myself, so I can't call it anything. But I have seen the trailer, and I thought the trailer looked absolutely fantastic. I love hearing this, and maybe now I will learn my lesson that I will never doubt Steven Spielberg again. If he says he's going to make a movie tomorrow about a fork, I'm just going to believe it's probably going to be one of the best things of the year. Anyway, Rob, you saw the trailer, and you've seen the reviews coming up for The Fablemans. What's your reaction to all this?
Well, it's funny, John. I loved this trailer. And the funny thing is, I think Spielberg's wanted to tell this story for a long time, but probably didn't because he felt like it would be too self-indulgent. But now that he's in his 70s, and this idea of a family where a father wants you to be, no, nose to the grindstone, those dreams you have, put them aside. And the mother's like, no, you're an artist. That is an inherently interesting story that I think now, by him telling it, we're far enough removed, because it's a period piece, where no one's going to accuse him of being self-indulgent, because now what's promised in this story, this kid, it's not just a hobby, Mom, was bared out by his life.
Yeah.
And you think about it, we just saw, John, the re-release of
this picture looks like the beginning of a new Batman movie.
Right.
I know, right? We just saw last week, Jaws got re-released in real 3D.
Yeah.
And it's been thrilling audiences as if it were a new film. That movie came out in 1975. So we've been getting Close Encounters in 77. I like 1941, but 1941, in 79, Raiders in 81, E.T. in 82, then all the things he produced, Temple of Doom in 84, Color Purple, Empire of the Sun. I mean, the man, like you said, his filmography, like I told you, doubting him, I remember buying Lincoln on Blu-ray, and I'm like, I'm not going to buy it. I was always bored. It was going down the bottom of my pile. And then when I finally watched Lincoln, dude, I watched it 5 nights in a row. I'm like, God, this guy is, no one's better. You're right.
He's the greatest. He is the GOAT.
This trailer,
He's the greatest
dude,
of all time.
I mean, I watched this film and it hit me in the feels. Just, I get it. And you know, he did make those movies. I mean, he snuck onto the universe a lot when he was 21 and started directing TV. You know, he set himself up in an office and he just told people, "Yep, this is my office." I mean, what balls?
I'm pretty
that
sure
kid
that's
had.
how Ray got in here. I'm not 100% sure.
You know, there's a big, measuring stick this movie has to live up to. You know what movie I'm talking about?
Oh God!
You know what movie?
Does
I'm
it start with a
talking-
T?
Followed by another T in the other word.
Terminal.
Terminal.
One thing I always thought was interesting about him is that when he had made Close Encounters, he said he made that as a single man, about a man who could leave his family because you're following a passion, and he couldn't empathize with the downside of that. It's like, why wouldn't you follow your passion? You have to do. And then when he came around to do E.T., it's the flip side. It's about a family whose father left them, and he realized he could never do that now. And that sensibility is felt throughout E.T. So it shows you how much of a personal connection he takes to the films he makes.
It really does. And, again, the one filmmaker, I love Quentin Tarantino, but when you watch all of Quentin Tarantino's movies, they definitely all feel like Quentin Tarantino movies. I love Scorsese, but when you look at a Scorsese film, you definitely feel this is Scorsese. Steven Spielberg is like the one GOAT where he can do everything. He can do sci-fi, period piece, biopic, thriller, like comedy, whatever. He can just do everything and make it all musical. He can do it all.
Let me ask you this: the title,
The Fablemans.
He is the Fable Man.
I didn't even think about it that way.
And I don't know if that's why it's called that, because he by the way, he co-wrote the script with Tony Kushner.
Yep.
Now, I know he worked on the script for AI, but he inherited that from Spielberg, and he does have a credit on Close Encounters.
Or not from, he inherited from
Kubrick.
Kubrick.
Yeah. Spielberg inherited it from Kubrick.
Yes.
But he has a writing credit on that. But so he hasn't written a lot in his life. And the fact that he worked with Tony Kushner, I believe he got Kushner to write West Side Story for him as well. I mean, one of the great playwrights in America. So it doesn't surprise me that this film is as great as it is.
All right, guys, question is for you. What did you think about the trailer and the reactions coming out of Toronto for The Fabelmans? It looks like it's going to be one of our Best Picture nominees, even though I haven't seen it yet myself, so I will withhold judgment. But what do you guys think about the reaction so far? Jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. We want to take a second to thank the sponsor of today's video, Manscaped. Now, guys, you know I love Manscaped. You've heard me go on and on about the Lawnmower 4.0 and that body wash. I love it so much. And so we got to ask, guys, have you started your spring cleaning yet? The carpets need cleaning, the drapes need dusting, and your lawn needs mowing, gentlemen. And you guys know Manscaped is more than just one product. They have a whole lineup of products to help you guys feeling, smelling, and looking your best. And so Manscaped is proud to present to you the Performance Package 4.0, which is the only tool that you need to keep your boys looking, smelling, and feeling good this spring. Now, to start off with, you get the Lawnmower 4.0. Guys, we have talked about this. What is wrong with us? Why have we for so long been using these terrible tools that were never meant for cutting our hair down there? The razor clipper things on our electric razors. That's barbaric, guys. You need the Lawnmower 4.0. And then there's the Weed Whacker. You guys have heard our own Ray Ora talk about this thing. He loves using it to get that hair in your nose and the ear hair. And then they offer lots of other stuff like the Crop Preserver. It's an anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer. The Crop Reviver. It's a spray-on toner for your balls. And of course, they've got the perfect grooming tool for your face with the Plow 2.0, the perfect razor for the finest shave on that face. So guys, get 20% off plus free shipping with the code CAMPEA. That's CAMPEA at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the promo code Campea at manscaped.com. It's time to throw out your old hygiene habits and upgrade your life.